Hello, 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 everybody. How are you? Hello, all my crafting cuties. Guess what time it is? It's Tuesday night, and welcome to HSN Gets Crafty with Suzanne, yours truly. Couple things. Just number one, hey, sorry about last week. We had a lot of things like a domino effect. Kind of screw up last week's show, so I'm sorry about that. We will try to have Beth here and Diamond Press, and we will take that watercolor kit and go in depth because daggone it, I'm prepared. Also with Beth too, I think we're doing that maybe hopefully in October. Later on, maybe 3 or 4 weeks. She has a really cool pop-up kit that we're going to get to, but I promise we'll do that in a few weeks. So sorry about that last week, but hey, we're here tonight. All right, so here's what's happening. This is a show that's, for me, I love so much because it's taking the time to actually deep dive into product. You know, on the air, I don't know if you guys saw earlier today, it was like we fly through stuff, you know, it's just like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and I always like, oh, there's so much to show. So tonight, we're very excited because we're going to take a deep dive, which is super cool, into the Today Special, which is that Singer Sewer embroidery machine. If you were on the fence or maybe you bought it, and you just have questions, because we can never cover all the questions, this is the moment to ask us, because I love you all on my Facebook and YouTube page. You guys can ask all the questions from Bethany. She's going to join me here in a minute, and we're really going to take our time and truly walk through this really impressive machine. And that's kind of what the show is all about, taking deep dives and taking our time and hopefully to inspire you more. And of course, you guys are what counts. So make your comments, say hey, let me know how you're enjoying the day. Have you spent a lot of money? Have you found something you couldn't resist, right? Because there's so many good items today. All right, so here's what we're doing first. I do shout outs because I want to get everybody on board before we dive in. So I'm going to say some shout outs to some folks, although I'm going to go through them kind of fast, only because we want to get to Bethany and we've got a lot to dive into with the singer. But first off, I love doing the very first person, because I always think that's interesting for some weird reason. And it happens to be Patty from Du Bois, Iowa. Hi, Patty, welcome back. We have Stefan, he's here as always. Hi, Stefan, he's from Palm Springs, super talented crafter. Jennifer's joining us from Tennessee. Hi, Jennifer. Myrna's back in the house as well. Hi, from Orlando. We have Gayla joining us from Lumberton, North Carolina. Oh, I got a lot of old-time crafting cuties on tonight with me. Antonia, hi, girl, she's in the house as well. Carletta's here. I love you guys so much. My glasses are not working right now. We have Terry from Jersey Shore. Hi, Terry. How are you? Desiree. Hi, Desiree. Welcome back. She says, hi, Suzanne and fellow crafting cuties from Pittsburgh. I love Pittsburgh. Adam's back in the house tonight. Hi, Adam. Good to have you with us. Elizabeth's joining us from Maryland. We have Beth watching from North Carolina. Jenner's from Franklin, Tennessee. My guest, Bethany, lives in Nashville, Tennessee. How far is Franklin to Nashville?
30, 40 minutes.
30, 40 minutes?
Might be my friend Jen. So.
Oh, is it really? Might be your friend? Oh, well, special shout out. Oh, that's awesome. All right, Jen, you got to say, are you Bethany's sewing bestie? So now we all have to know, right?
We are now.
Oh, yes. If not, we are now is what Bethany's saying. All right, we have Christina joining us. She says, hi, Suzanne and Crafting Cuties. Colleen's in the house with us. We also have Adam. Love your earrings and outfit. Thank you. This is actually Iman, and it is available. It's her stretch faux suede jacket. We have Pamela from Nashville.
I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe?
She could be a new friend in Nashville. There we go. Midge is joining us from Maryland. We have Shirley from Virginia. Joanne says, Joanne and my daughter, Carissa, hope I said it right, are from Franklin Lakes, New Jersey. She's a new sewer. Yay! Oh, I'm so glad. And if you guys have sewing questions, embroidery questions, you know, it's rare that we get to do sewing and embroidery on our Tuesday night show. And so many of you guys ask about it. And it's something, especially embroidery, that I love embroidery because it's all about personalization. And so while I don't consider myself a traditional sewer, like I'm not going to make a jacket or anything, I'm obsessed with personalizing. I think that's why we like scrapbooks and making cards, because it's personalizing a gift or a card to somebody. So embroidery is kind of my next level for that, and I love the ability of what this machine can do. So even if you're not a sewer, it's worth, even if you do scrapbooking and card making or any craft, it's very much worth watching the show, because you can embroider and not be a good sewer at all, okay? I think that's amazing. And because we like to personalize so much as crafters and creative people, this is just in our wheelhouse very much. All right, we have Myrna joining us. Enjoying the day, did get a few sets. Oh, good, Myrna, I'm glad you found some. Robin is joining us from Statesville, North Carolina. Hi, Robin. Deborah from Ohio, OHIO. Go Bucks, yay! We do sometimes convert to football talk. The football season started. Eagles got beat. If you saw the game, please, I can't even talk. That's unusual. Jennifer says it is. Rosemary, oh, she says it is. That's your Jennifer.
Oh,
Yay! All right, we're going to see her in just a second, Jennifer. We have Rosemary. Hi, Suzanne from New Jersey. Carol's joining us from Parks, Arizona. Rosalind's back in the house from Maryland. Hi, guys. We have Andrea from SoCal, our Southern California group. We have Lyndon joining us from the Jersey Shore. Got 2 Jersey Shore folks. We have Carletta. Sewing is my favorite craft. Yay, Carletta. Well, then I'm sure you're thrilled about this tonight. Andrea says, Suzanne, you're my favorite host. You're awesome. Love you. I love you too. Thank you. And you're now my favorite commenter. I'm a sucker for a comment, okay? Or a compliment. Kathy says, hi from Southern Florida. Having a good time watching the craft show all day. Now looking forward to seeing this craft show. Well, welcome everybody. And again, we have lots of you guys joining us online. A couple little notes really quick. This is our next HSN Gets Crafty with yours truly is going to be October 1st at 8 p.m. So unfortunately, because of some scheduling conflicts, I will be on the air next Tuesday, but we're not doing the show. So I apologize for that. It'll be October 1st. Also, don't forget, today is a secret sale. It's a really big deal. I love the secret sale. I always check it out. And what you do is go to hsn.com, type in the search engine Craft Happy. It will take you to up to 40% off a whole bunch of our brand names. Be sure to check that out, okay, guys? That's going to end tomorrow at midnight, so just FYI. Also, the So Crafty event right now, and this actually goes through tomorrow, you will only spend $7.50 to ship your entire crafting order. Now, here's what happens, though. At midnight tonight, that resets itself, so you got to start all over again. So if you have a bunch of stuff you were thinking about getting, if you want to get all that free shipping, make sure to get all your orders in before midnight, all right? Just want to mention that. Also, starting at 6 o'clock tonight, we literally had a flash sale that none of us knew was going to happen. So I announced it on the air, and I'm like, well, great. It's an extra 25% off thousands of craft picks from 6 p.m. to midnight only, and you search flash sale to actually see that, okay? Now, the next thing I do is we have a great Facebook group. I think we're close to 29,000 people in the group. And I will take and did the honors for me today. We between the two of us, picked just favorite stuff we'd like to see, something that's different, and it's because you have posted on it. So I love everybody who posts their ideas and their projects. The first one is Carletta, who we love. Carletta, she's on live with us right now. She said, I said I was going to craft something last week since Suzanne wasn't on. Oh, that's fun. Well, this is what I worked on. It's going in my craft room. Oh my gosh. Okay, is that Craft Buddy?
It's diamond art.
Oh, it's diamond art for, okay, girl. That is spectacular. You used your time wisely.
And I love that it's sewing.
It is sewing. Aha, there we go. It's a full circle moment, isn't it? All right, then we have Victoria. She said a shaped card made using the pumpkin spice stamp and die set from Crafter's Companion. Okay, look at all the detail, look at the texture, look at the coloring on that. That is spectacular. Wow, that's really good. And then finally, Miss Victoria, we have another fall theme, a new card featuring an old buck, created with the Leaves Are Falling die set from Crafter's Companion and the Lovely Layers Deer from Honey Bee Stamps. Oh gosh, that's beautiful. Okay, gorgeous. Love it. So thank you guys. If you might get a chance to be featured, just make sure you join our Facebook group and post away. You can ask questions. We love new people. We love seeing really any crafting or creative idea. It's kind of a really neat place to get inspired. So please join HSN Gets Crafty with Suzanne, our Facebook group. All right, now, DeWitt has been very hard at work. He decided he wanted to do, and I think this is a great idea, kind of a real spotlight. And so he's reached out to a few of you guys to highlight what you've been doing and what you're working on at home in your crafting space. And today we are going to introduce you to Carol Gindrew. Did I say it right? Gindrew?
I think so.
Jindrew.
She'll tell us in a second.
Gindrew, she will. And here she is. So let's see and learn a little bit about Carol.
Hello everyone, I'm Carol Gendro, and I'm here to tell you how I first got into crafting. It all started with a box of crayons and a coloring book, and as a teenager, Miss Burnell's art class was my favorite subject. And I started creating pencil sketches, and then I did canvas paintings. And I had the creating crafting bug at an early age. And the only sketch I have that survived all these years is one of John Wayne. And yes, it's a giveaway on how old I really am. But as an adult, I became interested in floral arranging. So I just read a couple of books on the subject. Then I purchased some silk flowers and just started making floral arrangements in wreaths for myself, for my own home. And then friends and family started to ask me if they could buy them. So this led to me participating in craft shows and selling those items. And then one day, I was walking by this new craft store that had opened up in town, and I noticed in the window that they had a sign, and it said, Floral Designer Wanted. So I ran home, brought in those examples, brought them to the store, and showed the manager. He took a look at them, and he said, "You're hired." So that was the beginning of creating many floral arrangements, wreaths, swags, and fast forward to recently, which I just retired and I downsized. So I was looking for a craft that would not take up a lot of space. So one day I was surfing on the internet and I came upon HSN Gets Crafty with Suzanne. And I thought, where have I been? Paper crafting. Yes. So I went out and I purchased some cardstock, some glue, got out my paper cutter, and then I purchased a Sizzix Big Shot. Of course, I had to have die cuts, stamps, ink, embossing powder, and it just went on and on. I love paper crafting. Absolutely love it. And the only advice I can give to someone who's just starting out in crafting is just do it. Don't worry about perfection. Create from within, create with your heart. Connect with others in groups like the Crafting Cuties and get inspired and just have fun creating.
Gosh. How adorable is Carol?
Hello, everyone.
Carol,
I'm
thank
Carol.
you. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Well, thank you, Carol, and I love your work and I loved your story. So there we go. One of our crafting cuties, Carol, now has told us kind of her background. That was wonderful. Thank you, Carol. I am so tickled. And DeWitt, thank you for reaching out and putting that together because it's really neat to see somebody kind of up close. And you never know, you might get a message from DeWitt and it'll ask you to do it as well. So Carol, thank you. That was really, really special and really wonderful. It totally touched my heart. By the way, I do need to do a couple shout outs to YouTubers. Hi, YouTube folks. Melanie's joining us from Seattle. She says, love Suzanne. Thank you, Melanie. I love you. Sherry says, I love seeing Stephanie from Stamps of Life back on HSN. Wasn't that great? It has been almost 5 years, and I can't tell you how excited she was to come back. I looked at her, I was like, oh my God, you're here. And so if you haven't seen Stamps of Life, go see her kits on hsn.com because they're whimsical and they're really fun, and she's brilliant. I love her. So I was just thrilled she was here as well. Also, Gloria says hi from Milwaukee. Hi, Gloria. And we have CJ from Texas and Sherry from Fullerton, California, and Christine from my home state of Ohio. Okay, so DeWitt, have I done everything except showing your outfit? Do you want to see your crazy outfit?
Yeah, why not?
All right, we have to show.
Fabulous.
Yeah, it is fabulous, isn't it? Here's DeWitt, dun-ta-da, my producer, director, all-around fabulous guy. There you go. Yeah, you went
I love
very
my tigers.
colorful. You do. You had on last time. You had a little.
I have multiple types.
He's such a cat. She's such a cat. All right, so now we're going to get into the heart and soul of our today's special. It is from Singer, and DeWitt, we're probably going to have to take the wide shot. We're going to really get into this, guys. And Bethany's joining me in just a sec because this is incredible. If you didn't see it, it's an embroidery machine, it's a sewing machine, it's all in one, and it's gorgeous. I mean, really gorgeous. So now here's what I want you guys to do. If you're online, either YouTube or on Facebook, please take this opportunity to really have Bethany explain stuff, because this is quite the machine. I think it's actually great for beginners. There's so much to get into. But if you are not getting it because there's something you just don't know, or you're saying, gosh, I was confused, or you bought it and you're super excited and you wanted to kind of go in depth, take this opportunity because it's very rare we get to take this moment to be able to do it. And here she is, Bethany McHugh. Welcome back. Yay.
Hello,
Hi,
hello.
honey.
Long time no see.
She's had such a long day too. Welcome. I feel guilty sitting. I hope you don't mind to sit. My legs are killing me, but I'm sure
Okay, it's okay. I changed the shoes. I'm in my flip flops.
Oh, she's got
now.
flow shoes. She's comfy now.
I'm I can manage.
You're good. And,
we
just
have
FYI, we do. She brought her chocolates. This is her chocolate stash, and I've already had 2 pieces.
We have it in the machines, right?
Yeah,
and I was like, well, before we pack up our machines, I probably should take it out so we don't put it in the box.
And if you put it in front of me, unfortunately, I am indeed eating it. So, you know. All right, so let's start. And again, guys, I'm going to be watching Facebook and YouTube. So please, this is amazing. You've been sewing for 30 years.
I started when I was 7, officially started getting into my mom sewed. So I mean, I've seen her sew my entire life. She made some of the sweetest things for me when I was growing up. So she was my inspiration to get into it. And then I started taking official classes when I was 9.
Wow.
And made my first outfit, complete outfit with embroidery. I should have brought it.
Oh, you should have. At 9 years old?
Yes, it was it's the cutest baseball style tee with the buttons in the pocket, and it had embroidery with my monogram on the pocket, had applique on it and everything, and it had little matching shorts with elastic waist and pockets.
You're going to have to post it on our
I
Facebook
will.
page.
And it's the cutest thing. It's a whole professional looking outfit. I made it at 9 years old, and it was in a fashion show.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it was just and that was what really did it for me. That's when I was I'm in. I went to school for fashion design. I love making my own clothes. I mean,
did you make your jeans too?
I did not make the jeans.
Oh, I was checking them out while she was on the air. She said, "Oh, I make my own clothes." I was looking at the jeans. I thought that is.
I mean, I could.
Jeans. You could.
But
this is so cute though. You made that.
My little sweater.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
Okay.
So of course, that's the power of sewing, right? So I've been doing it for a long time. I'll admit I'm 3 weeks from being the big 4-0. So. Over 30 years. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, this is my bread and butter. I love teaching. I love hearing that we have some new sewists. So you're my favorite people because I just love nurturing your growth, nurturing your learning about sewing. There's so much to learn. I know it can be very overwhelming, but please don't get overwhelmed. We all have to start somewhere. We all can do it. My life goal is to find everybody's little drop of creativity in you, bring it to life, and help you learn that side of yourself. So I feel like sewing's a great way to do that.
Okay, a bunch of people are coming online, so hi everybody too. And everybody said they're thanking Carol for her video. How cute is that?
Wasn't that the sweetest?
So sweet, so cute, and so well done. I was just so happy. All right, guys, so again, we've got Bethany here. We're gonna jump into this, and let me just give some basics real quick.
Yeah.
The value is actually gonna be extended a little bit longer. I had said on air, I thought it was gonna end tonight, but you do have a little bit longer to make that decision to pick up this machine. It's both sewing and embroidery, and they both do it completely brilliantly. Barb wants to know, I bought this, but wanted to know if it comes with an instruction booklet.
It does. I don't have it here with me, but it comes with a wonderful book. It's a very in-depth book, and also the flash drive that comes with it, which I have somewhere. Here it is. All right, when I get tired, I sing. So you're just gonna hear it tonight, but this is the little flash drive. So this flash drive actually comes with the PDF document of all the designs that are built in, so you can print this off too. So you have the booklet that comes with it with all the instructions. You have this right here that you can print off. And don't forget, on Singer's YouTube channel, there are 13 separate videos for the Singer Legacy SE300 sewing and embroidery machine. It's all in one playlist. So if you go to Singer's YouTube channel, search this machine, the SE300, you'll see all 13 of those videos, and it walks you through how to wind a bobbin, how to thread it. So we're going to talk about a lot of things. We're not going to go over everything tonight, but that resource is there for you. So when you do get it home and out of the box, you can pull that up and walk through. So some people like the visual.
I do.
A lot of creative people are that way.
I'm not much for looking at instructions.
But my mom is, and she's very creative, and she likes the book. So you might be like her, and you want kind of both, and that's great. So you have a lot of resources.
So no worry. And Barb, congratulations. In fact, Barb, you know what, Barb, you do me a favor, Barb. Why don't you say on YouTube, why did you pick it up? That's what I'm very interested in knowing, because there's many, many different reasons we want this. I think why it's so relatable to a lot of us who maybe aren't great sewing people is embroidery is like making a personalized card for somebody or making a scrapbook album. It's that making and the caring and personalizing that we love to do. And embroidery is just that next level. And if you guys, you all know, I mean, I am crazy about going to the $1.25 store, the Dollar Tree. I love that place. And all I see around me are surfaces all the time. And what you can do with embroidery, you don't have to know how to sew to be a really good person who can embroider, because the machine basically does it for you. And for those of us who use a Cricut and you use Design Space and you're comfortable designing, it's the exact same concept with this as well.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're comfortable in that world and you love it, now imagine instead of making a card or a scrapbook, you're taking that passion for creating into embroidery and personalizing.
And you can still make a card with this.
You can make a card.
Remember I showed these earlier? These are like the little place cards that I made for Thanksgiving with my family's name on it. My son, my dad, my mom. I had the whole family.
That's great.
But I wrote little why I'm thankful for you. These were sitting on the place settings at my mom's house around the Thanksgiving table in the dining room. And so these are just fun little things. You can actually embroider on cardstock.
Well, the other nice thing too about it, when you get the sewing elements, if you've never sewn on cardstock and on cards and scrapbook page, it looks great.
Oh,
and FYI, now this is really crazy.
I don't know if we can get it all in
We
this
can't
shot.
get it all in, but we'll just
I'll
show.
try. Let me
let's
try.
show it. This is the height of Bethany.
I'm 5'6".
Yeah.
Let's see.
These
Oh,
are all
wait.
the stitches. Imagine stitching on your cards these stitches. Like how fun would
He's
that be?
laughing at me because
Isn't
I'm
it
like, which
crazy?
way
Can you
do I
get it in?
go? There
But
we go.
imagine instead of
Yeah.
doing a straight stitch on a card, do some of the fancy stitches. The
Oh,
card will
yeah.
look amazing.
I mean, embroidery is wonderful, but if you want to just play with the 250 included decorative stitches and buttonholes and all those things, there's plenty.
There you go. So that's part of the sewing world. But let's
Yes.
do embroidery, because that's a
Okay.
lot of reasons why people.
That's a lot of the reasons. I think someone had a question about the upgrade. Is this a newer model from the XL420? I'm not familiar with the XL420 that you're mentioning, so I can't really answer to that. So I don't want to say the wrong thing there. But when we kind of go through this, it might help if you have that machine to kind of compare notes. But like I said, this one has 250 decorative stitches, has 200 built-in embroidery designs, plus 6 fonts. And then obviously we have the USB, so you have a limitless.
Unlimited.
Yeah, unlimited, limitless, however you want to say it. It's a lot of designs that you could bring in
Tons.
to do.
If you can get it into embroidery pattern, you can
Yeah,
do it on here.
as long as it
All right,
fits in our
CJ
hoops.
would like to know, do you recommend the Today's Special sewing machine versus a dial type sewing machine for beginners? Which is a great question.
Wonderful question. I love that you asked this. And the dial type would be like the mechanical, the one with the knobs that you turn. And I love this question. And I get asked this a lot because of so many people come to me and say, where do I start? What machine should I get? If I'm looking to upgrade, what should I do? And if they have a mechanical machine, I said your next step is a computerized machine. If you don't have a machine yet, I usually tell them to get the computerized machine as well, because it takes the guesswork out of it. Like if you are using the dial machines, you have to know, okay, I need to set it to this dial to this dial to this, my tension to this, my stitch length and width to this, to be able to get a zigzag stitch. Whereas on this machine, you hit the zigzag button.
And it does.
And that's it.
Yeah, and so actually for beginners, even though it can seem overwhelming when you see all the stuff, it's actually better for beginners.
much
And
better.
here's the cool thing, the configuration they put together takes you from being a real beginner, like a little straight stitcher, to doing really advanced sewing projects and then full embroidery. So if you're gonna spend I said this on the air,
Yeah.
if you're gonna spend $400 or $500 on a basic sewing machine, if you can swing couple $100 more, absolutely go here.
Well, if
'cause
you're
it's-
serious about the craft,
Yeah.
like you're going to outgrow that machine like that.
That's a great point.
You're going to outgrow it. And I can say that because one of my friends in my sewing club in Nashville, and Jennifer is my friend who does that sewing club with me, but one of my friends in there, she had gotten her first machine. She was kind of misguided by the person in the store of what to get because she was doing bags, and this machine was not built for doing bags. And so I kind of directed her. She was in club one day, and she's like, I cannot. What is wrong with my machine? And I sat down and I said, the problem is your machine can't do what you're asking it to do.
Oh,
Like I tried all the things, but reality is it's not powerful enough, not strong enough to go through this thick material, fuzzy material to make this cute fuzzy bag she was making. And so we got online, I told her what she really should get. And then she got it like that day. She went and got it and she's like, this is the best thing ever, because now she has what she needs to do what she wants to sew.
Right.
With this, you could sew it all.
Yeah, and you get all the feet to do it too. Okay,
All
we're
the
going to go back
accessories.
to that in a second. I got a couple people on Facebook who have a couple
yes,
questions,
yes.
and comments too.
Oh, great.
So Lyndon, I'm loving Lyndon. She said, I bought another brand sewing machine about 5 years ago when it was the Today's Special. Picked up this one today at a great price. Mama needs an upgrade.
Yay!
Yay! Mama, you do need an upgrade. Bonnie says, hi Suzanne, I love watching the new Singer machine. I don't do much sewing nowadays except rehemming my husband's pants. He keeps shrinking on me. We all
My
are.
dad brings me his pants too for the
Because we're all shrinking as we get older. That's very funny.
I love it.
It says, now I have to take his pants in because he lost over 45 pounds this last year.
Congratulations.
Wow, yeah, congratulations. I wish I was more into sewing, but age keeps creeping up and I don't have as much interest in it, but I love the program. Well, we love you, and thank you so much for joining us on that one. Oh, very nice runner, she said, by the way, with all the stitches.
It does look like a table runner. You could totally use it. As
Oh,
one.
100%. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I wish we could show you the stitches because they're amazing.
Yeah.
All right, Barb wants to know, oh, this is Barb. It does both and not too heavy to take
to sewing groups.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
This is why Barb bought it. So she says it does both and not too heavy to take to sewing groups. I love the fact that it has the start-stop on the machine and the thread cutter too.
Oh,
That is a great feature.
And I love that she calls out the start-stop because for people who have accessibility issues and can't use the foot control, they can still sew.
That's a great point.
I love pointing that out. I don't
Really
want
good point.
anyone to feel limited that they can't sew because of that feature. This machine, you don't have to use the foot control.
This is
You can
great.
use the start-stop.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to start kind of on the embroidery side of it.
Yes.
And let's just talk about how Singer has made it so easy to embroider.
Yes. Okay, so I already kind of loaded it on, but would you like for me to like walk through that?
I think so, yeah.
or
And
we
then
can
as more
start
questions
it.
come up, we
Okay.
can, but I kind of want to walk through how it works.
Okay. So I'm going to kind of walk around to the front if we need to switch over to kind of get this front camera. There we go. Beautiful.
Perfect. No, that's perfect.
He's on point. I love this. Can you come home with me and do my live streams at home too? That would be amazing.
Nashville, sure.
Yeah, come
No
hang out.
kidding. Don't tempt him.
I wouldn't dare take them from you. All right, so this is the front of the machine. If you missed some of the airings earlier today, we're going to get up close and personal, but it does have a beautiful touch screen right here. We are in embroidery mode. I know that we're in embroidery mode because I have my little strawberry here. This takes me to the designs that are built into the machine, and I have the letter A. This takes me to the fonts. So we have this here. Now these buttons down here are for sewing mode, so we're not going to bother with these in embroidery mode. Now to get from sewing mode to embroidery mode, it's as simple as taking the embroidery unit off. You just slide this off and it would switch the screen, and when you want to come to embroidery mode, you would just put this on. It automatically changes for you. So we can do that later after we do some embroidery, maybe to wrap up the show so you can see it up close, but it's that easy. So again, it's all in one. I love that Barb called out how it's compact. It only weighs 20 pounds. So I take this to my sewing club. Sometimes I take the embroidery unit, sometimes I don't. I don't have to. It just depends on what project I'm working on, but it's very portable. All right, so we have our touchscreen. I'm gonna pick actually, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna touch the letter. I didn't really show the fonts
Can we
today
do
on
a
there.
can we do a monogram
We
or
sure
somebody's
can.
name or whatever?
Yeah, okay, let's do, there's 2 fonts on here. There's actually more in the USB stick that I have plugged in, but we're just gonna work with what's on the machine.
And just as a reminder, if I find a font I love online,
yeah,
I can download it into here.
onto your
and use
USB
it.
and use
Okay.
it, right. So we have the 2 fonts on the machine, and I'm gonna just do the basic one if that's okay. Sure. And I'm gonna do that, so there's large, medium, and small. I kind of go, we'll see if it fits in my smaller hoop. I've got my smaller hoop on here. You wanna do your name?
Sure.
Okay, oh well, it helps. I'm like right in front of it, so I'm gonna try to, all right, there we go. And I'm gonna change to lowercase. Sorry, it's been a long day. I know how to spell your name because it's also my middle name.
Which I love that.
I know, easy to remember. Okay, there we go, so Suzanne. And so I hit the little check mark, it's finagling. Now it's going,
Now I want to know how
Left
we
to
know
right.
how to size it.
okay, yeah, that's a great question. So it's going left to right, which means it's gonna go across just like that in my hoop, but maybe I want to rotate it, so I'm
Wait, I got a question. Does it know what size hoop is in there right now?
I will tell you
Okay.
in just a second. Right. So I'm gonna rotate it, so now my design is going up and down, so I can change which way it's going. I can even flip it and reverse it, so there we go. We can make it, that's backwards, so we don't really want to do that, but there we go. And then I can resize it. I can only resize an embroidery design maybe up to 20% max.
Okay.
Because if you go too big or too small, you're messing with the integrity of the desigin. The stitches, if you go too big, the stitches are going to be too far apart. It's going to look messy.
Well, wait,
right?
let me ask you a question then. Okay, if I'm using, could you hold that in
Yeah.
front of the camera? If I'm using the giant hoop and I want to do Suzanne, like everybody
Yeah.
needs to know my name.
Well, then we would do the bigger font size.
Gotcha, okay,
You know
okay,
what I
got
mean?
it.
And
Or
then you
if I'm
can-
online,
You
I can
size it.
adjust it all there.
You can create a design and then bring it into the USB and bring it onto the machine. You just have to make sure it'll fit into the hoops.
Okay, so we can get really large.
Yeah.
Okay.
So great question. So I can, I think this one will let me go up a little bit. Yeah, it's stopping me about at 20%. But I'm going to just stitch it out as it comes with the machine. But you can go up and down just a little bit. And then here is where I have some more control. So right here where it says 100 by 100, that's the hoop that I have in here.
Okay.
So I just assume that with the smaller font that I chose that I'm using a smaller hoop.
Okay.
Now if I have the bigger hoop on and I want to use the smaller font, I would just click that 100 by 100 and I would come right here and I could pick that 260 by 150 that also comes with the machine. Okay, but we're going to keep it to the 100 by 100. And it's just saying, yep, that's the one you got in there. Now, let's say I want to know exactly where this design is going to be on the hoop. This button right here is kind of fun. I don't know if you can zoom out just a hair so you can get the embroidery hoop in there with it, because I'm going to tap this button. Okay, perfect. And when I tap it, it now is going to the top left corner of my design.
Okay.
If I tap it again, it goes to the right. If I tap it again, it goes to the bottom right. Tap it again, it goes to the bottom left. And now it's at the center position. So I can kind of go, if I'm putting this up next to something else that's already on my fabric, let's say I want to put it specifically in a certain spot on a pocket or something.
Or like a pillowcase
or
edge.
Yes, exactly. I can make sure that it's exactly where I want it to be. So even if I didn't hoop my material perfect, I can finagle it to get it to stitch right where I want it to stitch,
that's right.
which is wonderful. So yeah, this is kind of all of that. This is where I can kind of play with some other features. This is where you would combine multiple colors into one. So if this design that I brought in was going to do 2 or 3 colors and I don't want to switch colors, I could tap that button and then it just makes it all one color.
Oh, got it.
So it's not going to stop and ask me to change colors.
Oh, gotcha.
Now on Air Today, I did do a couple that asked me to change colors because I wanted you to see what it looked like, even though I didn't change colors. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This little needle right here is saying, hey, I'm kind of got my design where I want it to be. And this is going to tell me that it is 1,437 total stitches. Now here it is saying it's 1 of 7 thread changes because it's going to assume I'm going to change my thread every single letter.
Oh, got it.
So let's go back and see.
Thus say no.
Yeah, so that's what it's going to ask me to do. It does that with fonts because it wants you to have the opportunity to clip threads between.
Oh yeah, right.
And which makes sense. And so it's going to do that regardless with fonts. So we're ready to go. If you guys are ready to start stitching. All right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna have your little tail. I've already put this on. I'll show you how to take it off and on when we're done. This will not take long to stitch. You're gonna lower your foot. Now, if I didn't have my foot lowered and I hit start, it's gonna come over here on the screen and tell me, can you swing over to that? Thank you. It's gonna tell me that, oh, this is my foot. It's gonna tell me with a little arrow that I need to put my foot down.
Oh, great.
Again, user-friendly, beginner-friendly, tells you exactly what to do. So I'm going to put my foot down. And now I just have to hit the start-stop button right here. I do hold my thread. I don't tug it, but I do hold it just so it doesn't get jammed. Okay, now it stops. And on the screen, it tells me to cut my thread.
That's great.
Because it wants me to stop and say, hey, let's get that little tail that you started with out of the way.
So it doesn't get junked up in the design.
Yeah, it doesn't mess up and make my design look messy. So I'm just going to put my foot back down, hit play, and we're off to the races.
Okay, now while you're doing that, we do have a question.
Yeah.
Is this a machine that I can grow with, or is it really intended for beginners? I'm an intermediate quilter, but new to embroidery.
Oh, I love this. Actually, this machine really is going to give you everything you need to do. So if you're a quilter and you want to get into embroidery, this is perfect for you. We showed a quilt earlier on air, and I think I brought it with me. No, I think I packed it up. But it is, you can put embroidery on your quilt. So yes, you can absolutely grow with this machine. You're going to love it for quilting because it comes with some great feet for quilting, like our 1/4-inch piecing foot.
And you know what we're going to do too, and we'll probably need your help on this again. While this is sewing, because we're embroidering, we don't have to do anything, I'd love you to go over the feet, and we'll try to get a really close-up shot, because again, on camera, we have to go through it so fast, because I think this really does go back to answer this question. If you're saying, you know, if I'm a beginner, where will this take me? Or like you are, I've never do embroidery, where will this take me? And if you don't mind, can you go over those in front?
Yeah, let's go over some of these up here. So this is what we're using right now is the embroidery foot. That's what this looks like when it's not bouncing up and down doing the embroidery. So that's it. It's super easy to attach, and there's instructions in those YouTube videos of how to attach it and in that written manual, okay? This is our all-purpose, general-purpose foot, and I've got the ankle attached to it. You've got your buttonhole. Here we go. I'm going to lay that down, your buttonhole. There we go. These are one-step buttonholes, so you just select the buttonhole, you attach the buttonhole foot, and it just goes to town. We good?
Yep.
All right. There we go. I know we're super up close with shiny things, so it's a little tricky, right? I know. I'm going to slide these back and put this one up front. All right, so this is like a decorative stitch foot. Well, we didn't really get to talk about this. This is probably one of the feet that I use the most.
Why is that?
Because on the back side, it's got the little metal here, and it just glides over your fabric beautifully. So if you're doing a bunch of decorative stitches, like on that table runner that we did with all the 250 decorative stitches, it's not going to mess up my stitches that I've already done. It just glides right over them. It has a nice groove in between there for getting those thicker stitches through, the satin stitches through. So I like it, and I love the clear, so I can really see my fabric really well. Okay. We talked about buttonholes. This foot right here always tricks people up. It looks funny, but this is the front of the foot, and it's got these little rubber tips. It doesn't squish too much, but it's soft enough to hold your button in place. So you put your button, let's pretend my little purple nail is a button. You're gonna put that under the foot, and you're gonna create a zigzag stitch.
Yeah.
And you're gonna drop your feed dogs.
Yeah.
The feed dogs that move your fabric through, you can actually lower those so your fabric doesn't feed through. And you're just going to zigzag your button on. So we're not hand sewing.
So you don't have to hand sew a button. Yeah.
We don't have time for that. I do not like to hand sew. I know a lot of people do, but I don't have the patience or the time. This is an open toe foot, another great foot for zigzags, for satin stitch, for decorative stitches. This is another one. When you do applique, I love to use this wide open toe foot, again, so I can see the edge of my applique design that I'm stitching around. We were zipper foot. So this is a left and right zipper. So foot, it's all in one. You don't have two zipper feet. You just have the one, and you have whichever side you put it on is which side your zipper is attaching to. So that's great. We were talking to the quilters earlier, right? This is a 1/4 inch piecing foot. Ours is clear, which is wonderful. Again, you can see your fabric. You're getting that perfect 1/4 inch every single time, and it's got the great marks. And if you're also a quilter and you like to do like straight line, I love doing like beautiful straight line quilting, and or even putting my decorative stitches like perfectly placed apart. So let's say I did a straight line stitch, and I want to follow that stitch exactly, say this far apart or a full inch apart from my center needle position for my next stitch. So I get that parallel stitching, perfect line every single time.
That's awesome.
So there's lots here to play with.
Okay, so a couple more comments. Yvette says, I'm so excited I figured out how to watch tonight. Yay, we're so happy you're here.
Yes.
Yay, welcome, new crafting cutie. Patricia said, this machine is amazing and so smart. Patricia, I'd love to know what you think about it. Why do you think it's so amazing?
Yes.
Like, what are the features
Dive in
that...
deeper.
Yeah, we want more information. Really, seriously, what are the features that you went, oh, wow, that's really cool. And what would you use it for? I wrote some notes that I think are really relevant, because I was trying to really verbalize why I think embroidery is so cool. Because I love it. I just love being able to personalize stuff. And these are the notes I wrote. I said, why personalize? One, it's unique, one of a kind.
Oh, yeah.
So, you're making things that nobody else has. Number two, it shows the receiver that you've taken the time and effort to show someone how special they are. That's like making somebody a handmade card. It's like using our Cricut and doing a monogram on a mug. That teacher gift, you know what I mean? It just really says you're very special, and I'm going to make something that's about your personality.
Like I saw this, I picked it out, and I embellished it because it made me think of you.
Of you, exactly. Another one that I liked was to mark a time or place. Ooh, I thought that was neat. Like if you want to do
I loved your idea about the address.
The address, on a towel. Yeah, if someone's moving to a new house, just get an inexpensive towel and put their address on it, like 132 Smith Street. And that's super cool on a towel. And people go, oh, you're kidding. It was a $1.25 towel, you know what I mean? Or go get a nicer towel. But there's lots of inexpensive towels. And then just monogram them, which would be really cool. So marking a time or a place, or marking an occasion like a wedding. Can you imagine doing pillowcases that have the wedding date on it? Or Mr. blah and Mrs. Smith and Mr. Smith. Like,
Yeah.
like people get some sheets and they go, oh God, you got me sheets for a wedding gift. They go, oh, wait a minute. You got me sheets with the date of our marriage on it. I mean,
Yeah.
there's some cool stuff.
You know something I made? I have my first nephew. He was born last November, and my son's off to college now. So it's like my family gets to start over with a newborn. It's so much fun. But I finally got to make something for him. And so when I got all the birth announcement information, I made a blanket. It's a fleece blanket. I did the satin trim around the edge of it. So I didn't have to do a lot to make the blanket, but then I personalized it with his name, his weight, his date of birth, the time, like all of the measurements and everything. And it's just, I created a custom embroidery design in our My Sewnet software, brought it to my machine, stitched it out. It was beautiful. And that's a keepsake that they'll have forever, and he'll get.
And I bet they loved it. They were
Oh,
just like,
yes,
you're
it's so
kidding me.
sweet.
So neat. Another one was, and I like these last two that I thought of. Ultimately, it transcends the value of the gift itself.
Oh, yeah.
Because again, there's so many services that are really inexpensive, and it really does transcend the value of the gift. No one cares it's $1.25. They love it because you thought about them and made it personalized. And one more note: you're not just giving something; you give something that matters. And that, again, so important and so unique to be able to do it. And that's why we love the embroidery. I do want to go back to the fact, though, is you can buy a pretty decent sewing machine and spend $7.99 on it. And it's not going to be an embroidery machine.
No.
You can buy a really good embroidery machine and spend thousands of dollars on
And
it.
it can't sew.
And it can't sew at all. You're just like,
It's
really?
like one or the other.
Yeah, one or the other.
And if it's both together, it's.
And if it's both
Yeah.
together, they normally don't do both really well. You know, they kind of have to do half of one and half another. What Singer's done this machine, the both are exceptionally good. And because it's digitized, you get such accuracy. And because it's digitized, that's why I normally wouldn't say that a $1,000 machine is for a beginner, but I would say this one is because it actually makes sewing and embroidery, for those of us who don't sew, easier, which is wonderful. So that's kind of some of my thoughts there. I do want to mention today too, just in case you're thinking about getting it, if you have a major credit card, we have 5 flex pays, pay it off in 5 months. It's $159.99. I had embroidery done on some lounge throws, and I had 4 of them done, and it was over $100 for 4 dumb towels.
And
okay,
you didn't even get them back in time to
No,
gift them for
yeah.
the event that you were going to gift them
I
for.
did not.
So now
It
they're
took-
Christmas gifts.
Took them weeks and weeks to
I
do,
know.
right? And it was over $100. Well, that's basically for 4 towels, and that doesn't include the price of the towels. I've done 1 flex pay. And think over the years how many gifts you can do, right? And also, if you have our HSN card, right now we're offering 18-month VIP financing, which means you have a year and a half to pay it off. And if you do, we charge no interest on that, which is unheard of when you think of
that's
credit
crazy.
cards, right? So if you get your HSN card and didn't realize that, this is a nice option. And also, it's free shipping, which is huge, right? I mean, that couldn't get better because
It's like the cherry on top.
well, it's
right?
a nice big box,
It
right?
is. It is, and it's a great place, like if you are to like travel or anything, to store it in. But honestly, once you have this out on your table, you're gonna want to leave it out.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna put, but you can. Like that's the
Yes.
nice part about it
Yes.
is because it's only 20 pounds. If you do have to put it away, you can. All right, so let's show our
All right,
project.
so
we finish
it is
this and we'll start
done.
another one.
Yeah, so we've got it now. I don't know if you noticed, I didn't have to stop between each letter because I clicked that little button. Normally, if you don't tap that little button, it will stop between each letter and make you trim and everything. So,
That's great.
anyways, to take it off the embroidery, to take the hoop off the embroidery arm, there's a little button right here, and I'm just going to push that button down and slide it out. Let me raise my foot, that might help. There we go, slide it right out. And sometimes, if it gets stuck on the hoop, you just lift that foot a little higher, and there it goes. Look how nice that, which way am I going? Upside down, there we go. It's been a long day. But there it is.
Yeah.
And you see the little stitches in between the letters, you're just going to go through and
Just
snip
those off, right?
Right.
Yeah. And look
Super
how clean
easy.
it is. Super
Yeah.
clean. Looks professional. Patricia answered our question too. She goes, I do use a basic sewing machine, but I do not have one that embroiders, and I would love to be able to personalize things for Christmas presents. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
stockings, so
Did you show them
adorable.
the scarf I made for you?
Oh, yeah, you want to see this?
Yes.
Okay. So she made me a gift. I was so pleased. Look
I
how
made
pretty this
every
is.
host today
You
a special little
did.
gift.
Look
because
how pretty this is.
all embroidery is about is like personalization.
And see, this is a reaction. Everybody gets like, oh my gosh, you did this for me. And so this is pre-bought. Yeah. This is totally pre-bought. It is a beautiful scarf, by the way. It's gorgeous. It's soft. if she had just handed me, like, let's say she's a girlfriend, said, here's a beautiful scarf, I'd be like, oh gosh, thank you so much. But then when the girlfriend says, oh, by the way, I embroidered this for you. If it had, I was saying earlier, we just got back from Ireland and my son got engaged there, so we're very excited. Had you known that?
I didn't know.
She didn't know, but had she? And she came back and had a Celtic, like, embroider on here. Literally tears would roll down my face because it's one of the happiest moments of my life when they got engaged, right? So if you knew that whole story, that would have meant so much to me. And again, that's just what we can do. Scarf, it's beautiful, you know, bought it off the shelf, but look what happens. This also, do you have that little
design in the machine?
Do you have your beanie too? I love the beanie.
No, okay. So I made the beanie for Natasha's daughter. It said Winter on it. That's her daughter's name. She had no idea I was making that. That was. A lot of these have been like, I got little tidbits for people to know what I should make. But she literally put it on set and left with it.
Did she? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
She was so excited.
That's
she like
so
ran
cute.
around the studio. She was so excited. And again, this is like the joy that you get from sewing, right?
Right.
Seeing the reaction, like, I could sit and spend a late night sewing and doing all the things. I'm like, oh my God. And it's always last minute. I'm always saving these projects for last minute. But that's what's great about this is like I can just set it and like it can do its thing and I can be prepping the next one I'm going to do. But I can get them all done and be like, oh, I hope they like them. And I worry about it. You know, I'm just like, I don't hope Suzanne likes the scarf.
I love
and
it.
I'm so nervous. And then I give it to you and you have these wonderful reactions. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
This is the feel-good moment of why I love sewing.
It's great. But look, and these are a ton of stitches
And I
too.
did a practice stitch
Pretty.
of the exact same design. Now, this design is in the machine. It's part of one of the 200 designs that comes on it. And it actually called for 4 different colors. So I stitched it out with 4 different colors. And I go, I mean, that's pretty, but I knew I wanted to do some more like Christmassy kind of colors on this beautiful black scarf. And so I decided to do 3 colors. So instead of changing the center circle to another color, I just repeated that green. And I think it really worked out well, but I always like to do a practice stitch before I do my final design because it helps me visualize the colors I want to put in it.
Oh, perfect.
And then I can see like what order they're stitching out in it.
Now, I do want to go a little more in depth about the online element.
Okay.
How that works, because now it becomes unlimited what you can do with this machine.
So what's great is Singer actually has an embroidery software called MySewNet. MySewnet. So if you go to mysewnet.com, you can download a free version. You just make a free account. There's a whole library of designs, so you can just purchase individual designs, put them on that flash drive, plug it in the machine, you're good to go. You can also, if you do one of the subscribed versions of the software, you can actually do different types of things and create your own designs, edit designs, combine designs, as long as the design that you bring into the machine fits in one of the 2 hoops that comes with it, with the 100 by 100 or 260 by 150. As long as it will fit in those hoops, you can stitch it out on this.
That's awesome. Okay, couple comments. We need to answer. Rosalind, you're making me laugh. She says, I do not need 3 sewing machines.
Yes, you do.
She goes, as I keep repeating this to myself, this machine is amazing. I do not need 3 sewing machines.
I want them to guess how many sewing machines I have in my house.
Okay, so you're going to guess how many sewing machines she has. I can't imagine. I have no idea. But we're going to guess. That's the next thing, guys. Answer, how many machines does Bethany have in her house? All right, so Carol says this. She says, I need to make things to sell with my cards. I would love to personalize a few things. I know you need to spend money to make money, but so nervous to purchase, but I do love it.
I get that. I mean, you're investing in your craft, you're investing in your business. This is a machine that is going to grow with you and your business. So I think if you do cards already, you saw my cards that I made. So you can start with what you're comfortable with, what you're familiar with crafting to get comfortable with the machine. And then you go, okay, well, now that I love that, what else can I expand in? And you're going to find yourself just naturally graduating into other things and trying new things. And I know that you'll find a lot of inspiration over on Singer's YouTube channel, on their website. They have a ton of projects that I've made over the years. If you want to follow me as well, so Craft with Bethany, I have an Instagram, I have a Facebook, and I have a YouTube. I put out new videos every Friday. And it's mostly sewing, but I do some other fun crafting stuff on there too. But I'm here to inspire you. I'm here to help you even after today. So if you need help with this or any of these things, just let me know. My DMs are always open.
Well, here's another thing I would just want to add to it. Remember, I bought towels from HSN. I took them to a store, and they charged me over $25 just for the embroidery of each towel. So they made $100 off me, and it was 3 letters and 2 hearts. So it wasn't like I was asking them to do, 4 colors
How
and
much
something.
would that have been?
Oh my gosh. If mine was 25
This
per
is
towel.
almost 19,000 stitches in this one design.
It would have been it was so much more expensive.
Yes.
So my thing is you might want to think about incorporating embroidery into your business model.
Oh,
because if I spend $100, that's one order. So there you go, 6 more orders, 7 more orders. You've paid for this machine for just the embroidery part of it, let alone the fact you can do all the sewing stuff with it. So you might want to think about, you always want to watch your budget, I get that.
Yes.
But I think with the flex pay, the VIP financing, but think if you could open up a little more and start embroidering for people. I know my girlfriends, if I were to start making gifts on this, they would pay me to embroider stuff for their friends and for their family members.
I love that you brought up the small business because there's a lot of people that do like vendor fairs in their towns or communities. I used to do them a lot, and I actually made dog bandanas. This is an example of one, and you could easily embroider on them. And
People
this
would
is a
love
smaller
that.
machine. So imagine having your booth set up. You've got this machine set there. You do not have to be on Wi-Fi. You can just use the fonts in the machine to embroider the pillowcase, the towel, the doggy bandana, whatever little things you're making.
People would lose their mind if you did doggy bandana.
Oh my
with
gosh.
the name, there. Like, do my T-bone. And you're like, okay, fine. Come back in 5 minutes and I got it done. Seriously, think about,
I know.
this could take you to a whole new level. And remember, you don't have to be a great seamstress to be able to embroider.
You don't even have to sew anything. You set it and forget it.
Right.
So we have a
You have
question about
pre-made
can it
stuff.
do thicker materials like heavy denim or leather?
good
This is
question.
a heavy denim and bandana. Phil,
Oh, that's really
that's
heavy.
thick. And it's
wow.
2 layers, and it's just little cute snap-on bandanas
so
from a little biscuit. And you can totally do denim. I have this little zipper pouch right here. This is a funky triangle-shaped zipper pouch. I did this on a live Zoom class, y'all.
Did you really?
On a live Zoom one night,
cute.
I did this, and it just unzips. I've got tissue paper in there so it holds its shape, but I can put my scissors in there and stuff, but this is denim.
That's cute.
It's
That's
super
adorable.
easy.
And she put the zipper in and sewed it up and all that.
Yes.
All right, the guesses so far are 6, 7, 10, and someone said 32.
Okay, over 10, I probably have had up to 32 machines in my house at one point, but I own about 19. If you count my antiques, like my those.
But
yeah.
which ones do you use the most? That's my next question.
I have 5 that are always set up in my sewing room that I kind of rotate through, and always embroidery is set up. I always have a serger because I make my own clothes. So this whole project was made on a serger. So I do all the sewing.
Right.
So I do bag making. I have industrial machines as well. So I do bag making. I do embroidery. I do quilting. I do the small craft projects, garment sewing. I make my own patterns. So there's nothing I won't.
She's got
There's
it all.
nothing I won't craft.
Okay, then there's the rest of us, and this is me. This is me here. Okay, not all that. I'm
Some good
more in
guesses.
this round.
Some good guesses.
There are some good guesses. Okay, so Carletta said, my youngest daughter is going on a trip and always brings me something back. I asked her if she would bring back me material. I want to then make her something from the material that would be special for her trip. Oh my God, please, you could make it and then embroider it as well.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
Yes.
Myrna said beautiful. Oh, people are guessing the numbers 5 and
Yes.
6, 7, 10. I have 3. Gayla has 3 machines at home. Thank you. So Carol says, thank you, Suzanne and Bethany. I will purchase this.
Yay.
Oh, good. And we hope
Congrats,
you,
Carol.
we always want you to be careful with your budget and all that. I
Yes.
never want people to go crazy, but I really think you're going to absolutely love this machine. Myrna said, wow. Myrna said, you're so talented. Patricia said, wow. Also, I wanted you guys to see this big hoop to give you a reference to this. Because if
stand
you're
up?
thinking, you know what, I'm going to have it, pretend I'm wearing a jean jacket. Would you do
You
me
want
a
me to hold
favor?
it?
Yeah, put it horizontally or vertically, whichever way.
All right, so this would literally go from her hair all the way down to her waist.
My waist.
Yes.
So the reason I like showing that, y'all, is because you're thinking a lot of times with embroidery machines, you can only do these little spaces, and maybe it's a logo right here. But this, it's a huge area.
across the
well,
front
like
of a
if I did a
sweatshirt.
T-shirt, sweatshirt. But look at this. My T-shirt would bag over right here. You wouldn't see the design. So I just wanted to show you how big the capacity is on this, because a lot of times when you get a machine like this, because it's not a multi-$1,000 embroidery machine, it does little projects where this is massive. I'd be shocked if you need to do anything much bigger. But if you did a repeated pattern, you could obviously repeat huge, like a quilt. You could repeat huge
One thing
patterns.
I was going to say is you can create a design that repeats. So even that scarf that I made you, you could repeat that all the way down the entire length of that scarf. You would just, after it stitches out, you unhoop it, you shift it down, you rehoop it, you align it, and you start stitching again.
Yeah, which
so
is
again,
that's amazing.
you can like go down little pants. Like if you were making a pair of trousers, you could embroider down the side of the
pretty.
It would be so pretty, so pretty.
Did you bring? Can you show the white blouse?
Oh,
and
yes.
do it. We might have to do it up front, close up where the. Do you mind, Bethany, if you put it?
I can
up there?
walk up in front of
She's
it.
so good. She's doing. I'm too lazy. I can't get up. I'm tired. She's been here
there
much-
we go.
Now tell them how you did this, because
Okay.
this is interesting.
This is not embroidery. This is not embroidery. I'm going to
What?
repeat it. It's not. I know. I blew
Isn't
his
that great?
mind. It's not. It's actually just decorative stitches on the sewing side of the machine. So again, I'm using the same embroidery thread, that beautiful rayon that gives it that nice glossy, shiny finish that we love, but it is decorative stitches. And I even did it along the collar here. How fun is that? All the way around the collar. And of course I had to do it around the cuffs as well. This is just a store-bought white button-down shirt.
And when
Nothing
you're there
fancy.
that close, this we could not show on TV properly. Can you just kind of roll that around and unroll
Yes,
it?
so there's some of the stitches.
I love the old-fashioned stitches. Those are so cool. Look at that. Look at all the different designs. Where's the train? I love that darn train.
It is.
Look at the house with a tree. Do you see the house with a tree right there? Come on, guys.
Geese or ducks?
They're little
Wait, look at the
swans.
car.
Swans. Oh, wow.
Wait, look at the car. Go down like 3 down or 5 down. Right there, look at the car.
And the bicycle.
And the bicycle.
And the puppy
hearts.
dogs.
And the puppy dogs. Where's the train? I love the train. I think it's up higher.
Here. It's right here.
There's a choo-choo train.
And the apple for the teachers.
Look at the butterfly. Now, guys, remember, this is just in the sewing mode. This is not embroidery mode. This is just what it can do when you're sewing with
I
it.
made a passport book with the airplanes.
Oh, super cute.
You made one if you're going on a cruise. You could do a little
cruise ship. Okay, see, and again, can you imagine doing a little tote or something that had the cruise ship, had your name on it, and then that's your tote that you carry on board. You know what I mean? Like, and people
All
will
your
be like,
documents so you don't lose anything,
yeah,
right?
like a little pouchy thing. And then whoever you give it to is going on the cruise. You make one for everybody, and they're like, "You're kidding me! This is so cute!" Like that's what the reaction we want, right? That's what we love. Okay, Patricia asks.
Okay.
She says, "Where do you keep all these machines?" She says, "I barely have enough room for one sewing machine and a Cricut machine in my craft room."
You know, I really don't have a big craft room, but I have a studio space. I have some shelving. I have them. My antiques are kind of sprinkled.
Oh,
They're
okay, got
sprinkled
it.
throughout the house. I have antique singers. I have my grandmother's singer from Great Britain when they traveled. My dad and grandfather was in the military, so my dad traveled all over the world, and so I have her Great Britain original singer. And
Oh, wow.
So I have a lot of like those in my home too, and they kind of sit up on shelves and are on display.
Yeah, Myrna says, "Wow, just wow." Patricia says, "Oh, puppy dogs. We love the puppies."
Yes.
I'm sure there's probably a cat in there too, so I don't think they're discriminating against cats.
All right, now I know you loved this sample,
It was sweet.
and I want to show this one up close. We might actually come back over to this up close camera. This is a little apron I made for my friend Emma. Her daughter was born this summer. Her name is Juniper. Now Emma is a professional ballerina. She teaches dance, and so when I saw this little teddy bear, it is actually a little ballerina bear. This is one of the designs built into the machine, and one thing I love about this is just it's 5 or 6 colors, and it's such like dense stitches. It looks professional.
It looks almost like a patch.
I
Like a
know.
professional.
You
That's how
could
good
make
it is.
patches. You could make
Can you make
patches.
custom patches?
You can make
I didn't
patches.
think about that.
I like to stitch them on a felt
Okay.
and then just cut around
You just
it.
cut them trim them close?
And you put a little pin on the back.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, that'd be so cute.
To make,
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, kids love the patches.
We were talking about cheerleading ribbons for their hair. You know, the girls wear those big ribbons. Now you can personalize the cheerleader's name and the team name on it. I mean,
on the end of
come
the
on.
ribbon. You could put that in the hoop and absolutely
Do
stitch
that,
it
right,
out.
on a piece of ribbon. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, guys. First and foremost, I want to thank all you guys for all your questions. They were brilliant and they're great. Don't forget, we will extend the value on the singer. I think it's through tomorrow, so that's great news.
It was the 20th. through
Oh,
Friday.
the 20th, Friday. Okay.
Wow.
So you got a couple days to make that decision because I know we've covered a lot.
There were only a little left anyway, so until
No,
it's
actually,
gone, right?
you know what? There's not. I got to tell you, there's really not that many.
No.
Because right now people are buying it on air because we did the last presentation on air. So I honestly I wouldn't wait too much longer. Because
I would be surprised if it makes it till the 20th.
I would agree with you too. Yeah. So, but you know, so don't wait though.
Don't sleep on it.
Yeah. 5 Flex VIP financing. We got all that free shipping, which is great. $300 off a completely exclusive configuration. And by the way, you cannot find a better deal than here on HSN for this. So Singer did this. this for us specifically, and we do thank the team at Singer for being so kind and putting together a Great Today special. And you, thank you so much. I'm going to actually finally stand up because I'm being so lazy.
Big ol' hug.
Oh, it's so good to have you.
Yes, this
And
has been a
thanks for
fun
your
day.
time. I know it's been a
Of course.
long day.
No, it's
a
fun.
lot.
I mean, I love connecting with the community. So getting to end the day on this note, I mean, yes, I'm tired and I'm ready to like go crash, but this is the highlight for me, to be able to answer your questions, talk to you, help you grow your sewing knowledge. That is my favorite thing.
And she's such an inspiration. Now make sure to check out, what's your?
Mine's Craft with Bethany.
Craft with
On
Bethany.
all the platforms,
And
so
she
just
has
follow me there.
tons of videos and great ideas and all that kind of good stuff. All right, so for now we have to do this because when I say goodbye, I do my heart. I want to say goodbye to all my crafting cuties, all our new crafting cuties.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you guys the most. We love you, and I will see you October 1st, and that will be at 8 p.m. Is that correct? 8 p.m. October 1st. Love you guys. Bye.